Hi everyone, it's Tammy here, and we're ready for our first Use Our Stash video. And today we are talking about napkins. Am I the only one that has this many napkins? I actually have a whole box of napkins over here. This is only a small portion that I pulled out for this video. So, we're going to take the napkins and we're going to make them into a card. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do that without wet glue. Because if you use wet glue on a napkin, it's so thin, it's almost like tissue paper. It just kind of wrinkles and falls apart and doesn't look that nice. So what you're going to need is a piece of parchment paper, a napkin, some cling wrap, a piece of cardstock that you're gonna attach the napkin to, and an iron. So that's what I use my iron for. I don't really iron many clothes anymore. So the first thing you have to do is when you use a napkin is you have to take this back papery layer off. Sometimes it's a 2-ply or a 3-ply. And the easiest way I find is just to make like a little rip here. And so once I make a little rip, it kind of just pulls off. Looks like this one's just a 2-ply. So that means I only have to pull off one backing page. And even though it's thin, it really doesn't feel like it's gonna rip or fall apart. I'm being kind of careful. Because I do want to keep it in one piece. So then once you have that piece, you can throw that out because this is the actual piece that we're going to be using. So you want to lay down your parchment paper, and this is just my ironing board underneath it, okay? And then you want to lay down a piece of cling wrap, and you want it to be the same size or just a little bit larger than your cardstock. This off. Try not to get it stuck to everything because we do kind of want to smooth it out so it doesn't have a lot of wrinkles in it, because then your final piece might have some lumps and bumps, and we don't want many lumps and bumps. Okay, so I'm going to spread this out a little, and I'm going to make sure that it's going to cover my piece of cardstock here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take the napkin that I delaminated and took off the backing for, and I'm just going to lay this on here. And my napkin is larger than my cardstock, which that's fine. And then this parchment paper is very large, so I'm going to fold it over like that. I have a nice little sandwich going. And then I'm just going to take my iron that is on the cotton setting and rub it over my paper sandwich, and I'm going to count to like maybe, I don't know, 20. You want to, what you're actually doing is you are melting the saran wrap or the cling wrap, and what happens is as it melts, it adheres the napkin to the cardstock in almost like a dry adhesive. And I will tell you that the corners are usually the hardest part to make sure they adhere. So you might have to do those a little bit longer. Count to 3 as you're doing the corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to take a peek. So as I pull this up, I'm going to lift the napkin. And look, my napkin came, oh, I don't know if you can see this. I'm off just a little. So move it over. My napkin came up and my saran wrap has not melted there yet, okay? So I know I need to close that back down and do it a little bit longer. So what I like about this is, first of all, that I have a million napkins. But I like the way the napkin feels. So once it's adhered to the cardstock, it's like a piece of paper. You can run it through, a cutting machine, and you can cut it to whatever size you want. You can mount it on another solid color piece of paper and mount it on cardstock and make your own card with it. Sometimes I also like to, once I have it mounted on a card, maybe it needs a little sparkle and shine, I might add some kind of medium or something and do like an embossing powder over it. That might be something that you don't have, so I might just show it to you just to show it to you, but don't feel like you have to buy anything with this project. The idea is that we're going to use our stash and use what we have. So as you're watching this video, if you're thinking, oh, I have XYZ, I have no idea what I should do with that, email it to me, send me a note on Instagram or anything, and we'll go ahead and brainstorm ways that you can use it, and we'll do a video and put it in one of my newsletters. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check this one more time. There we go. So now this time, see, it's totally, you can almost see that line right there. That's the edge of my cardstock. So it's totally glued on there. So I'm going to give that a second to cool. I'm going to lift this up because it is definitely hot. Now remember, I said my napkin went out farther than my cardstock. So just so you can see on this corner here, right? So there's no cardstock. Oh, I didn't get that corner very good either. That's okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that a little bit longer. I think I got all the other corners look good, but this one, not so good. So that's why you check it. Okay, let's check it again. There we go. Yeah, so now it's lifting up with the cardstock. Okay, so like I said, I like the way this feels. It almost feels like, I don't know, it almost feels like material, like fabric. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel off where some of this saran wrap stuck out. It kind of just peels right off the parchment paper. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this over to my paper cutter, and I'm going to cut a square and show you how I'd finish this out in a card. I'll be right back. Now we have our napkin adhered for the most part to our cardstock. If you look in this little corner, I didn't get it very good. I'm just going to leave it and cut that part off because I have this whole rest of this 8.5 by 11 inch page that I can work with. And actually, if you see over here, I have some extra. This was a very large napkin, so I can save that and reattach that to cardstock later. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to trim off the edges here. So we have something easier to work with. All right, so now I just have the piece of cardstock that is completely adhered on all four corners all the way around to this piece of cardstock. So instead of being a flimsy napkin, it's a pretty sturdy piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I think I am going to put this on a light pink card. Okay, and so all you have to do is glue it on. So I'm going to just check my measurements. So I should be at a little under 5 by 3 3/4. So I can kind of see, I think I like that side. So I'm gonna go there. And I'm not really, I'm a wabi-sabi kind of crafter. I don't have perfect measurements. I don't glue it perfectly. That looks like I need to trim a little bit more off this edge down here, and so I will just go in and trim a little bit more off. I don't really like measuring. It's funny, there's some people that love to measure and others that just don't. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna use a glue stick. I'm just using Elmer's because that is what I have. I should have a piece of paper down. Let me grab a scrap piece of paper that I can glue on. And this napkin is really nice because it's an all-over pattern. So I can cut out any section I want, right? I can flip it around, whatever I want. Okay, I think that looks good. So then I just have a piece of white cardstock here that I folded in half. It's a shiny cardstock, and that's what I'm going to put my card on. So I'm going to put it on right there. And you know, there's not many people these days that save cards that they get in the mail, so I'm really not that worried that it has to be perfect because somebody is going to want to save this card. So then on my computer, I just printed out happy birthday and I mounted it on a black piece of cardstock. And then I had an extra piece of this white here. Oh, that didn't stick down. And then this pink. So I think I'm going to just go like that, and I'm going to glue that down just like that. So then that is going to be my card. And I still have a whole nother piece of cardstock here that I can do another card with. I wanted to show you another napkin. This one, it actually has this pattern on one side and then this focal image on this side. So you can cut out whatever part of the image you want and layer on top of that. Here's another napkin that I have that is just kind of geometric, right? So that's the napkin before it's opened or anything. And then here's the napkin after it's saran wrapped onto the cardstock. And then here it is as a card. So this is what I was talking about, where you can put on some Versamark medium and some embossing powder. And then if you heat it, it gets this is a holographic embossing powder. Now, if you have that, then let me know and we'll talk about ways that you can use that product. If you don't have that product, then don't worry about it because it's another product, right? We're trying to use what we have. So that's our video for this month for using our stash, and we'll see you again next month. Thanks. Bye.